Hi there, I'm Gabriel Morris, and in this video I thought that I would just do a little sort of introduction to myself, just tell a little bit about my life and my past experiences as briefly as I can without rambling on too much. So I'm here in beautiful Jasper National Park. It's a chilly and windy day. Hopefully I can be heard above the breeze here. It's mid-April and technically spring, but still quite cold, and there's snow on the ground, so I've been just hiking around here on my day off. I work in a hotel here. So I'm a nature lover, of course. I was actually raised in the woods. I was raised in rural Northern California outside of a tiny little town. My parents were from Los Angeles, but they moved to Vancouver, British Columbia in the early 70s, and I was born there. They only lived there for a couple of years and then moved back to Los Angeles, and then from there moved to Northern California. But thanks to my birth in Canada, I have citizenship here, and so I'm able to work here. So I kind of go back and forth between the US and Canada. So I'm 40 years old, going to be 41 towards the end of the month here. And I was raised in Northern California, but I've traveled around a lot since then. I've had quite a love of travel. Path. I first left the country, or left the U.S. and Canada, left North America anyway, when I was 18 in the summer of 1990, and went on a summer trip all around Europe, the United Kingdom, Ireland, France, Greece, and several other countries. And so that was my beginning of my travels. However, I'd also begun a spiritual path even before that. When I was in high school, then I had this photography class that I was taking as an elective that I didn't really need, and so I found this dark room in the one of the rooms there that wasn't used very much. It was kind of a small little dark room for doing little photography things. It wasn't used because there was a little bit of a crack in it, so there's just the tiniest little bit of light that would be let in. So nobody used this dark room. So I instead of doing photography, then I started going into this dark room and I would just meditate. And almost every class I just would meditate throughout the class. I think I even managed to pass the class somehow with a C or something. But also during that same time, then I started going on hikes a lot, and I was just doing a lot of introspection. And so I consider that to be sort of the beginning of my spiritual path. And then from there, several years later, then I came across various spiritual books, in particular Carlos Castaneda, and I soaked up his books voraciously. His books are really amazing, and they really take you on a journey of the soul. They're very, very deep and really present you with alternate views of reality in a very, very profound way. I also came across Robert Monroe's Journeys Out of the Body, and Swami Kriyananda, The Path, various other spiritual books that all, propelled me along my spiritual path. Later I came across channeled teachings such as Barbara Marciniak and Barbara Hand Clow. And it was in Eugene, Oregon. I moved there in winter of 1993, and that's where things really got propelled for me. I started a yoga class, found this really awesome yoga instructor, and just started doing a lot of really intense spiritual searching, going on hikes outside of the town, working on emotional release. I found this place, this kind of abandoned barn out in the middle of a meadow somewhere, and worked on releasing anger, because I had various anger issues over childhood and issues related with my father and whatnot. And then I was experimenting with marijuana a bit. I would go to these hot springs and just get really stoned out of my mind, and soak in these hot springs and just really travel to very interesting places within my own mind and my own consciousness, while just merging with nature, naked in these hot springs. And then I also started doing something called vibrating, which I have a video about, and it's a very powerful tool of spiritual cleansing that really releases layers of stuck energy. And then I also met a very interesting homeless man named Jeffrey in Eugene, And all of this is detailed in my book, Kundalini and the Art of Being. And he introduced me to the Right Use of Will series of books, which are really the teachings that I most subscribe to, even though I think there's lots of awesome teachings out there. But those books are really, really powerful. Right Use of Will is the first in a series of 8 books by Sianda Rohan. So I was pretty much just reading everything I could, going to workshops, meditating, yoga, doing everything I could find and come across to propel myself along the spiritual path. So that was 20 years ago. In the meantime, since then, I've just had all kinds of adventures and travels. I began traveling more intensely around the world. I went to India in 1999 for 5 months, and then came back from there and had a relatively stable life in Portland, Oregon for about 5 or 6 years. And then from there I went to India again in 2006, and then I've been traveling ever since then. So not constantly, but you gotta work to pay the bills. I don't have any trust fund or free money tree or anything. But every year I've traveled a certain amount. I just came back from a trip to India, another 3 months in India. So I'm a world traveler and a author of a number of books, which there's a link to my website, kundalini-fire.com. There's a link down below the video here. More info on there, more videos, link to my Amazon.com author page. So that's just a little bit about me. Thanks for watching. Lots more videos if you're curious on various topics. Take care and have a great day. Namaste.